Peace, God. What's the math for the day? What's the math for the day? I know you're dropping that knowledge on them. Peep science. That third eye awakening. Non-ether. Universal Allah. That oneness.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one.
They ask me many questions, but I don't give a shit. Though I may send some blessings and offer sympathies. Them opposites attract, create synthesis. Many fall for the fraudulent patterns, absorb simplicities. Many degrees so seeds to pick up peace and more frequencies. Talk about Middle East, West, Middle West, Middle South, Middle North, City, please. A con is a con, but a pro is a pro. And I fuck with all angles, from the hottest hot to the coldest, 273 degrees below. So if I hex or protect your neck, depends on your respect. I'm always good, so when I'm bad, I'm the fucking best. I'm also hood, so if you see me basement, it's a fucking mess. And caution backwards, inhabit my chest. God in the flesh, balanced by demons. Exhale, inhale, we breathe in. This is not no baby mush. If you're teething, it's too strong to chew on. Your soul is bleeding.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the...
If you are confused about you can't knock Moors or Moorish Americans from wanting to separate themselves from people, opportunistic people who are just using the Moorish movement to do whatever it is that they want to do under the guise of law. Right? A lot of them are just using pseudo-law. A lot of them are not using the actual law because they think that they are above the state law, which is not true. Right? So, ask these Moors, do they subscribe to, I don't know if y'all can see this, the Moorish Science Temple of America Divine Constitution and Bylaws. So, we're going to read Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws. See, members, you have a nationality card, which is a membership card too. You are a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So this goes for members. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws. All members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government. So some people say part and partial, part and parcel. Either way, it means that we're part of this government. So that's either way, we're a part of this government. And must live the life accordingly. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey. So what is the government and the laws he's talking about? He's not talking about in the Moorish Science Temple of America, because right here it clearly says this organization, we're going to keep things in its proper context. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. So, what is this constitutional government, he talking about? So we're going to go into the Constitution of the United States of America. All legislative powers herein, this is Article 1, Section 1, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors, requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. So, we talk about Congress, we talk about the Senate, we talk about the House of Representatives, we talking about the Vice President and the President, the people that you elect. That is your constitutional government. It is. It's just true. It's no way around that. That's true. So that's what, and those people that make those laws, we have to follow them. Law. Now, I'm going to say this. If the laws of your city or your municipality violates the constitutional laws, you should challenge them. I'm going to give you a quick story that's recent. So, you don't have to be Moorish American for all this stuff. You just have to be a citizen. So, a 75-year-old lady, the city created an ordinance where they said all abandoned homes, you get a fine for them. This is the city ordinance. So a 75-year-old lady got this fine. And she said, well, my house isn't abandoned. I live in another house, but that house is not abandoned. It's just vacant. But it's not abandoned, right? So they still gave her the fine, and they actually convicted her in municipal court. She wrote a 10-page letter to the county, which is the superior court. You have municipal court, then you have superior court. Superior court trumps municipal court. So the superior court judge actually overturned it, the municipal court, and said that it wasn't right, and they had to give her her money back. So this is how citizens can challenge an unconstitutional law. Anybody can.
Now, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali made it clear. He made it crystal clear. People received the crystal clear message and they did their own stuff with it. Same stuff going on today. But when you study Noble Drew Ali's work for yourself and you pay attention to the reference points that he gave you, you will realize how important study is. That if you're claiming, Moorish American, M-U-U-R, M-O-R, M-O-R-O, whatever, if you're making the claim and you just utter something relative to Noble Drew Ali, you better have some background, because nobody's information, nobody presented for our people, the melanated people of the Americas, the cure for their disease of mental slavery, except Noble Drew Ali. The cure for our mental slavery disease was given to us by Noble Drew Ali. And people try to play like they own that. Right? People try to play like they're down with him, but they're telling you about municipal ordinances getting overthrown because of some black lady doing something. Clearly she was either Aboriginal or Indigenous, right? Or, which the fact is, the county is superior to the municipality because it's been there longer. And county probably already knows who that lady is, who her greats were, when she got that land and all that. But they want to try to really win. And stupid people don't realize that Noble Drew Ali didn't support democracy form of government. Nowhere in the literature that Noble Drew Ali brought is there anything showing support for democracy. Nothing. But they're telling you about municipal ordinances. These are Moorish Science temple people who are supposed to be governing themselves. They have a constitution. No different than Malachi York L. God gave them a constitution, and they're so dumbass that they didn't use their constitution to free him yet. When you have a seal that says Nation of Moors and all that, and you're marching up and down the place. Same thing with these people. Pushing Moorish Science Temple of America like just some religious thing. Just some religious thing so that, you know, you can better yourself, and then as a citizen you'll be able to go vote and go do all this stuff that citizens do. When they specifically tell you that the card for Moorish Science Temple of America is a membership card. And they seem to stray from letting people know that it's a nationality card. And that is supposed to be for people's salvation, because that takes them out of the jurisdiction of the democracy that Noble Drew Ali came to topple. That Noble Drew Ali came to drop the world on and ground it to powder. But people are moving in favor of that. And remember, once they're saying, okay, you know what, we're going to get a Moorish American and we're going to take him and put him into the democracy, whatever, so Moorish Americans can have a Moorish American in the government to do their bidding. That means that they're with the democracy. That means they're pro-democracy. If people out there are saying, hi, we're democracy, and that's what we push, the democratic everything. And then Noble Drew Ali said, Republican government. And then Moors go with democracy government instead of Republican government. 1 on 1 equals 50 million. Playing you out of your own stuff. It's your stuff that they're playing you out of. Because trust, I got my birthright. I'm sure about my birthright. I am not wavering about being Moor. Right? Like, I'm not moving. I know what's up. But people out there who think that, you know, birthrights is some, you don't have to study, you know what I mean? You're a Moor because the ancestors just blessed me with, yeah, sure. You better start studying and get your mind right, because you have the stuff to free you from mental slavery. Noble Drew Ali brought it, everything. Everything. He brought everything that it takes to save a nation and said, take it and save yourself. Why? Why would he do that? Why would he? Let's analyze, you know what I mean, what he's trying to say. So Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, you are a nation. I brought you everything that it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself. Take it and save yourself and yourself. Take it and save yourself. Like, you are going to save yourself with it. Grand Sheik's not going to do it. Grand Governor's not going to do it. Grand Secretary's not going to do it. No Grand anybody, no Supreme anybody is going to do it. No guy who can hold a staff and then, you know what I mean, just levitate and stuff like that, he's not going to do it for you. No walking on water guys are going to do it. No women who can use the sun as their mate and impregnate themselves and have children there. She's not going to do it. You're going to do it for yourself. And you know, when Noble Drew talks about, yeah, the supreme laws will be handed down to you, all those stuff are the supreme laws. Don't take anything that he says as, or he just said that. No, take everything supremely serious that he said. Everything. Don't look at anything he said as a, no. Right? For example, got thrown back because of these people with their BS. Drew Ali told the Moors. Drew Ali told the Moors. Right? Gave them a reference point. The 14th and 15th Amendment is not necessary for the redemption of our people. Which, remember, democracy pushes that. Right? So, regardless whether they say naturalize or whatever like that, once they're doing things pro the democracy, then they're down with democracy and they're down with everything that democracy has to offer. Which includes that constitution with more than 10 sections, which all those are fraud. Including the 13 with the 20 amendments that you want to go run to that, because don't even want to do that because you're not African, so that doesn't apply to you if you're Moor anyway. That's for Negroes. That's a reference point for Moors to show Negroes that they're not citizens. It's not for Moors to use as African slaves can't be citizens of what. We're not African slaves. That's not for us. So see how these warped Moors have people thinking? So these warped Moors have people thinking? Like, maybe, this one from the, maybe about maybe about 2000, 2001. About 2000, 2001. Dealing with the occult and all this stuff. Went to this occult store. And the occult store had this book. The Curse of Canaan, A Demonology of History. Eustace Mullins. Right. And this is from the chapter, The Civil War. Remember, keep in mind, when we said, when Noble Drew Ali says something, he knows why he's saying certain things. Certain Moors who study, right, are going to pick up on what it is he's saying, because everything that Noble Drew Ali says is spirit. So it's not going to just come to you, fall in your lap. This is a 2001 book that I went back to. This is a book I haven't touched in years. And I'm hearing these people with their BS about Canaan, this, Canada. I'm like, hey, oh yeah. There was an occult book on Canaan. Where did that book go? Right? But it threw me deeper. Just to prove the point that, yeah, you know, that guy when you say Noble Drew Ali or whatever, yo, he's on point with what he brought for you Moors. Right? The military and federal courts, whose dicta can be enforced only by martial law, can hardly be welcomed by any people. The military occupation of the South was similar to the present military occupation of East Germany, Czechoslovakia, and other European nations by the Soviet armies. An alien ideology was imposed on a defeated people by brute force. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States was enacted in 1865 by martial law. The 14th Amendment was enacted in 1868 by martial law. The 15th Amendment was enacted in 1870 by martial law. Military occupation of the southern states did not end until 1877, 12 years after the end of the Civil War. The occupation was maintained throughout those years solely as a punitive measure in the hope of starving to death the last white survivors of the Civil War. Thus we find that the 13th Amendment, enacted in 1865 during military occupation, abolished slavery. The 14th Amendment, which changed the status of citizenship in the United States, was enacted in 1868 during the military occupation, and the 15th Amendment, dictating voting procedures, was enacted in 1870 during the military occupation. These amendments were similar to orders issued by Soviet commanders today in East Germany or in Czechoslovakia. The Civil Rights Act of April 9th, 1866 stated, "Be it enacted that all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States." This act nullified Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the Constitution, defining free persons. Even so, the Civil Rights Act continued the exclusion of Indians not taxed from citizenship. So we have nothing to do with any of this BS that's going on around here. And if we are compromised to deal with them, it's always under threat, duress, and coercion. It's always with complete reservation of your rights, because, like they said, everything that they're doing is military occupation, operations. Nothing is government that they're doing. Everything is military operations in order to colonize, subjugate, and have jurisdiction that they assume. And as far as the people are saying, the ones that's supposed to know, Moors, turbans and fezzes, are talking about, let's make a Moor president to go run in that thing that's a military occupation. Clearly they work for the democracy. Again, take nothing that he says as he's just talking some stuff, because those words are words that, you know, we hear today and all that. Really look at this divine first. Political slavery. Anytime a man or a woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot, since when, with these voting stuff that they have out here, that they call those sacred? And common sense tells me, if he's talking about a sacred ballot, he's not talking about some ballot, put something in a box to go vote for some clown. He's not talking about that. If he said sacred ballot, anytime a man or woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. anytime a man or woman, right, fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot, you just go look up sacred yourself and come to a conclusion as to what type of ballot is he referring to. This is first line. First line. Anytime a man or woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. For surely this is the one connecting medium for a citizen to his nation. They become no more than belated beasts of burdens. There are reasons why certain classes who are more or less independent take no part in politics, since they say they get nothing out of such in the way of material gain. This is no less than a political slave, since they refuse to voice their sentiments at the polls. Another form of political slavery, which is probably more prevalent among the less independent classes, is that of being forced into one of the major parties and there bribed, coerced, or otherwise forced to vote the wishes of someone else regardless of their own minds. Before there can be general relief for the economic good of all forms of political slavery must be abolished, and every citizen must take his part in the affairs of the nation. So before there can be any general relief, we're not even talking about, excellent relief from political slavery. General. Just the common level that everybody could be a little bit free. Right? The general relief for the economic good of all forms of political slavery must be abolished. Not just slavery, he said. He added political on there. Right? Because he's really addressing what the problem is. He's really addressing that status is the issue. He's really addressing you have to become independent. You have to fend for yourself. Because these people that we've been relying on, we won't be able to rely on them soon. And all these people who were heads in the Moorish movement were on this mindset, which is again why we bring up CMB and we give him 21 gun salute for taking what Noble Drew Ali did and expanding on it on the level where these people who are around today disrespecting him forget what Noble Drew Ali brought. They didn't even digest what CMB brought. And he was after Noble Drew Ali. Like, just put Noble Drew Ali on the side and just look at CMB. They didn't even fully digest what he brought. But they're talking about they're down with the Prophet. If you're tracing it back, you're going to bump into CMB before you bump into Noble Drew Ali. So why would his work be neglected? I mean, he was at it. It's not, everybody knows that he was at it. Diverting the attention away from the fact that that's what everybody was supposed to do. Everybody, what he did in Ohio, every other adept was supposed to do in the state where they're at. Think about what would have happened. Just have in your mind, everybody, after Noble Drew Ali transition, right? After Noble Drew Ali transition, everybody after Noble Drew Ali transition, everybody that was a student of Noble Drew Ali doing exactly what CMB did, but doing it from the seat of Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Divine National Movement. If they did that, there wouldn't have been any need for CMB. There wouldn't be need for Clock of Destiny and all that if they went with the program. And then because, again, his information is resurfacing, people are mad because it makes them look like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And they're supposed to be grand, supreme grand, and all these other stuff. Right? Since we brought him up once again, for those who claim that he's violating and all that, we give honor to the brother Marcus Messiah Garvey, forerunner of the Prophet, and we give honor to Prophet and founder Noble Drew Ali, Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. They honor him. The Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs is an active association or collective citizen body of conscious Moorish nationals having in their possession valid and confirmed Moorish nationality and identification cards. Now, membership. Now, membership. Who act or convene as a political body in accord with Moorish constitutional law and customs to address local, national, and international affairs and issues concerning the living Moorish nation. Now keep in mind again that we can't get into the game of well, we're whatever Moors, and Noble Drew Ali, whatever, but you're not paying attention to the temple or want to be connected to it or whatever, right? It's not the institution or the lessons that's the problem. It's the people in it that's the problem. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. So it's obvious, right, that it's not the institution. It's obvious it's not the institution. Right? It is not the institution. The institution has done nothing to anybody, just like America has done nothing to anybody. You can't blame America for the wrongs that are going on. You can't blame U.S. Corporation. You better start naming the parties, identifying who it is that you're dealing with. Just like CMB said, Moorish constitutional law. Letting you know which law, so you're not confused. So you're sure which law he's telling you. Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs Moors have at a minimum the MST of A degree, a functional knowledge of the works of Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, the divine national Moorish movement of the world, including all general laws, temple order, customs, books, literature, symbols, etc. Again, why they're mad at Taj Tariq Bey, because he put out the administrative functions book. So nobody could have an excuse that they don't know what Noble Drew Ali brought, because it's open to everybody. Anybody has access to it. RVBaypublications.com. Everybody could have access to it. And again, it's there to show you so you can have a reference point as to what it was that, when they say Grand Sheik in the Moorish Science Temple, what do they really mean when they say that? You as the people should know that. Like, that should be information accessible to you. To know, what is the Grand Sheik's job? What does a Grand Sheik do? What does a Grand Secretary do? What does a Treasurer do? So you know as a member what these people's obligation is. Because again, you know, you go back to political slavery. If you're in a quote-unquote body politic, if you're in a body politic, then that means that you casted a ballot at the polls, because that individual who up there says that they're Grand Sheik, they're up there because somebody put them there. And you know, we hope it's not some self-appointed whatever, where, you know, they have their boy say that, oh yeah, we're just gonna say that, you know what I mean? Like, you sneezed and the bird came out your nose and it made a circle 7. That's how we know that you're reincarnated Noble Drew Ali. Don't fall for those ones. Stuff was laid out for you. Once you know what it is that Noble Drew Ali brought, you're not going to be confused. Trust me, you're not going to be confused. Right? The devil is the author of confusion. How are we causing confusion when we are given the same reference point for 7, 8 years? We've been repping with who we still rep with today. And then more people who added on, because they were repping the same people that we were repping. So trust that we are a nation. Trust that the covenant between the Moors is strong. Blood oath, death before dishonor. Many people are riding with dishonor and saying the name Noble Drew Ali out their mouth while they're parading around with Ali on their name, while they're going behind secret people who sell charters, to go buy charters, to come up here and say, oh, we got a charter now, we're the #1 temple. Those guys aren't them. Exactly, dog shit, exactly. Exactly. Right? Because it's evident that nigger bridges are falling down. MFers are acting crazy. Just go listen to the Onyx song. Nigger bridges. Just go back. Just like how I went back, pulled out something from the archive. Go back and go listen to the Onyx album again. Especially Nigger Bridges. Stuff's falling apart for these people. All of a sudden, everybody has GoFundMe, so come on, give me $1. $1. You ask 1 million people, give you $1. It's a good hustle. A real good hustle. that's what's happened. You know, people have become couch potato. You know what I'm saying? I know Moors, we go to libraries still. Forget Google and stuff like that. That's just for at-home quick check. If you want to do some research, go to the library. Right? And have the laptop at the library. You can have access to the Google Drive and stuff. Don't take this as some, you know what I mean? This thing been around for 100+ years. Still here. Still doing the work that was laid down to get done. There are Moors right now who are exercising as Moorish nationals. There are Moors. There are Moors who adhere to the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, right? And they have been to multiple temples, and all of them were BS, which is why they're not part of our temple right now. But they can get the literature through the right sources, you know what I mean? So they can know what their prophet brought them. But remember, again, half these people, just like Brother Smith L. in Jersey, where Grand Sheik or whoever called highwaymen because he said Northwest of Mexham. This is people who are heads of Moorish Science Temple calling highwayman on a Moor because he said Northwest of Mexham. And at that temple, they don't teach that. Right? So you go to many of these institutions, I can see why you would diss the temple, but it's not the temple. It's the individuals in the seat that's playing with the birthright. The individuals in the seat who know exactly what it is that they're doing. Like I said, there's Moors right now selling charters. You want a charter for Moorish Science Temple? You could buy that. And they claim like some, you know, high authority. You can buy a charter. Trust me, got the call yesterday. Because one thing that you learn in the Moorish movement, is you don't know who's got your back. You really don't know. You just don't know, because so many Moors are stealth. So many Moors evade interaction with anybody. You know? You get one of those calls, you know. There's a lot more, you know what I mean? I am, you know, watching you for like 3 years or whatever, you know what I mean? Thanks for the music and, you know what I mean? Keep doing your thing, you know what I mean? Whatever, but you know somebody named so-and-so, so-and-so? Yeah, well, you know, they're saying that they're no more in temple in Canaanland right now. They have a charter now. Oh, they stepped their stuff up. They got charter now. Pretty good. You know what I mean? You watched me for 3 years? 3 years you've been watching. And you just called just to say that and that's it. Yeah, I just wanted, you know what I mean, reach out, you know what I mean, let you know what I mean, that, like, as soon as they said it, I was like, oh my God, these guys are real, they really went and did it. They really went and did it. After all that stuff that that you did, like they didn't come back and say, they didn't come back, apologize, nothing. They just went and got a charter and just did their own thing. That's how they do. That's how you know who's who. That's how you know who's who. Cause now you have to now think how broad this sellout thing is now. Because remember that these people who now have a charter that they got from whoever is claiming that they're the Moors for the nation, like whoever that is, right? But whoever that is gave them a charter, sold them a charter, whatever. These guys that they sold the charter to, gave the charter to, right now are charging people $5 grand for paperwork. So now, are these grand major people getting a cut? Was that part of the deal in order to get the charter? Because, you know, even dirty Moors should be against Moors selling stuff for $5 grand, papers. Even dirty Moors should be against that. If dirty Moors aren't against that, then you better start fending for yourself. You better start fending for yourself. Right? And whoever you know, that's who you know. No more knowing new people. If you don't know anybody, sorry. But all this time studying should have been building with Moors. That baby you call Moors anywhere. Should be like that. If it's not, sorry. But know that there's opportunistic people out here. Right? There's opportunistic people. Damn, they're going. I know you guys are pissed today because this thing's been dropping like crazy. No commercials today. They're straight just dropping the stuff today. Don't worry, you'll get the upload later. The information that's presented by Noble Drew Ali is used by opportunistic people to reel you in, right? They say certain stuff, they bring up certain things, you know what I mean, that are going to get the listener's ear. You know, keep in mind, you're hey, I actually like what they're, and they're at your heart chakra. Here was a decoy. You hear what they say that sounds good was a decoy. They already have their claws in your heart. And all it takes is for them to make the transfer. Remember, Noble Drew is a metaphysician. So, it ain't some, you know, just some Moors, just some people dealing with dark arts and stuff like that. Beyond, you know what I mean, righteousness and truth and things that are morally on point or a standard. Below these things is the people who we're dealing with. And people are going to come out and say that they don't want to be El Bay no more. They're going to call themselves Ali. They were El Bay. Now they're going to call themselves Ali. And now they got a charter. This is swinging in one direction. And anybody who's off, anybody who's not moving with where the universe is taking this, trust me, you're going to be destroyed. Right? Gain the world and lose your soul is an understatement when destroyed comes around. There's going to be nothing to gain. Because Allah is definitely not pleased I mean? It's like Brother Omar maybe like a month ago is like, man, it's been, I think it's time for the flood or whatever like that, and it's been raining crazy. All type of stuff flooding. But why is it happening? Why is it going on? Because the people are messed up. Especially so-called Moors. Because they're so dirty, they're going to be self-proclaimed themselves president of something. When Noble Drew Ali is on the record as the president for the Moors. Noble Drew Ali is on the record as Ali. But people are going to do their BS. People are going to play their game with what Noble Drew Ali brought for the salvation of all Asiatics in America. And spiritually for all people. And it's good to know. It's good to know that there's more, like Moors out there. For real Moors out there. It's good to know that it's not just dirty Moors out there. That I can go through my phone and 80% of the Moors are right and exact. And the other 20% are on their way there. Knowing that people are reaching out to get this word spread because where they're at, it's just them, but they're a nucleus. And everybody around them is just wanting to get some energy. Because they're vibrating in that place that Noble Drew Ali told the Moors is their first principle. Right? And people are coming into the movement. Right? Like sis in class on Sunday. That she's like, my son's getting this info. Forget the brainwash that I went through. He's getting this. From the start, he's getting this. Right? Now and again, go back, check the record. Majority of people who take the approach of some type of self-schooling their children, they get out of the institutions and they're still grounded or stable. Right? Many people after they get out of the institution, you don't even know who they are. They turn to whatever it is the institution made them, and that's it. Past means nothing. It's moving to the future. And abandon their past. Forget about their birthright. Their immediate past, they abandon. All these things that people do are setting them up for that hellfire. And when lower self takes you over, there's no coming back. All is mental. And like they said, bust the egg. Mind is a terrible thing to waste on BS. Right? Make sure that you're taking what Noble Drew Ali brought, studying that, because it's serious, the level that he took it for Moors. Just so that they can save themselves. You don't need anybody to come save you. You really don't need anybody to save you. you're going to save yourself and then inspire others to save themselves. You're not going to go save them. That's the opportunistic mindset. No. You're not going to save yourself and then run and go save some people. No, you're gonna be an inspiration to those people to save themselves. Because they're supposed to be looking at you like, damn man, you came a long way or whatever. You used to be, what did you do? You run it down on them. Then they're gonna make a decision. But no diving in the flaming pit to go save the guy. Well, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Right? Save self. Make sure that self, no, that's not ego and selfishness and all that. No, like you came out the womb on your own. You're going back to the womb on your own. Save self. Even twins came out on their own. Save self. Because until you save self, you can't save anybody anyways. So, you know what I mean? You have a right to tell people, nah, chill, I'm trying to save self right now. You know what I mean? I really want to assist you with what you're dealing with, but you see my backyard, all that grass back there? I have to cut that right now. So I'll check you in a little bit. Right? For all the so-called Alis, right? 1928. Drew Ali in time. Allah has sent us a prophet and sent him in time with a holy message which is divine. Holy message. A holy message which is divine. Isn't that like a little bit higher than what the norm is? You know what I mean? Like it's holy already. The message is already holy. But on top of it being holy, it's divine as well. And taking him lightly. He came to let the Asiatics of America know they are the ancient family of the Moors. This is Drew Ali letting us know. We are descendants of the ancient family of the Moors. His spiel was to the Asiatics first. Why? Because they have been sinners since their departure from their forefathers' religion. They have been sinners, still are. Oh, sinners, why don't you hear the soul of Islam ringing in your ears? Right? So the soul of Islam ringing in your ears is like the people who before they came into this information, you know, they were doing things that were Moorish when they were black. So like they had like, you know, number 7 was their number, and you know what I mean, anybody, you know, or they the good one is like people who have the name, you know what I'm saying, they have some name relative to the Moors, or they have El in their name, or they have Bay in their name, or whatever like that, and stuff's over their head because they have been sinners since their departure from their forefathers' religion. Keep in mind, religion is not some worshipping of something, praying and all that stuff. Religion is a very broad school of thought that does not just only mean houses of worship and stuff like that. Rituals to unseen whatever. Religion goes into other subject matter. Religion is broad. Why don't you hear the soul of Islam ringing in your ears? The Prophet has said that if I were you, I would get ready before you are made to do so. This is 28. 28. If I were you, I would get ready. There has to be more. What are we getting ready for? Or is it in the air? Is it good news? It might be good stuff that we're supposed to be getting ready for. Right? The vastness that this man came with. Now come and pick up your forefathers and mothers' ancient and divine creed, which carries your national name indeed. Now come and pick up your forefathers and mothers' ancient and divine creed, which carries your national name indeed. Right? Divine, national. Why divines first? Because this is beyond earth realm. National is earth realm. Divine is not earth realm. Moorish, divine and national movement of the world, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, are not just earthly. They also have a divine reflection that you can interact with if you are using the tools and workshop of the mind. Like the Quran lays out everything that we're supposed to do so we can do what it is that we're supposed to do. Now by the time we get to the Red Book, we realize that we are the council of the elders. And we're organized into a body politic and we're doing whatever it is that we have to do for the Moors. And again, going right back again to what C.M. Bay did. Why they're mad at him? Because he's making them look like cuff boys. Because they think that what they've been doing with Moorish Science Temple of America for the past 80, 90 years is what's supposed to be done with Moorish Science Temple of America. And then they have people living that charade. People go into the grave with so much information about this nationality and birthrights that they were told not to tell. Remember we told you that we know Great Seal elders who, when Great Seal was founded, they were young and they were already part of this. And the reason why they even went Great Seal is because of the corruption that they saw in what was going down with Moorish Science Temple. It will entitle you to your rights, which you have been denied. Because in 1774, your light was cut off from the ancient Moors. And that is why Allah has sent to us a prophet in 1886 to prepare the light that was out. In 1925, the prophet said, I have mended the broken wires and connected them with higher powers. So come on, Asiatics, don't you want to go? We were marching on to Canaan. I used to think that was a city in the sky, but now I know it is here on earth. Don't you want your share? I brought you your nationality, name, title to your vast estate. What do you want me to do? Kill you? Like, what do you want? Take what Noble Drew Ali brought, Go study what he brought. Realize that what he brought was to save a nation. So take it and save yourself. Take it and save yourself. It's the only option, really. There's no other option. All deals are off the table except proclaim your nationality and birthrights and divine creed. Or there's going to be problems. Because I know you want your share. And remember, just like we were marching on to Canaan, I used to think that it was a city in the sky, but now I know it's here on earth. Now I know it's here on earth. Don't let people play you out your birthright. You are obviously drunk, Neil. Check out on YouTube, retired FBI agent explains what really goes on behind the scenes. Retired FBI agent explains what really goes on behind the scenes. Question from Zulu Nation. These are some that people put on questions that people put on YouTube videos. Can we come up with a solution on how we can all fund the gathering of our Moor family and start educating each other in regard to sovereignty, law, and how to file proper paperwork in regards to putting our mission into effect? It is time we stop allowing the powers that be to continue to oppress the masses as well as us. Well, like we said, the people have a right to be competent, but they also have a right to be incompetent. A majority of people will choose incompetence because, we've become stagnant. We've become passive. We've become people who want something done for us but don't want to do anything for ourselves. So can we come up with a solution on how we can all fund the gathering of our Moor family and start educating each other with regard to sovereignty? All right, well, we do that. Moors travel all over the place from other Moors who say, hey, what you teach, Moor, could you come over here and teach us some classes or whatever like that? And Moor's been doing that. So, that's not something that has not been done. It's not something that the right people do for funds. Like, they have something that they do to live off of. Getting the information to the people is an obligation when it comes to certain minded Moors. It's not a job to put people onto their nationality and birthrights. It's not laborious, because we know about nationality and birthrights. We know what this is. We know that the important impact that this can have on people's lives. Why? Because people who we put this info on tell us how much it's impacted their life in a positive way. Children start paying attention in school, all types of stuff. Right? Again, Moors been had the Google Drive, right? That Moors could go in and out of. A Moor set up a Google Drive and Moors could link him to get into Google Drive. Then other Moors followed suit and did the same thing. So Moors been sharing information with each other. But again, it's particular-minded Moors. And it's not a secret. It's just the spirit has to invite you in. Not just walking into this and get some info. The spirit is going to lead you to where the oasis is. That's if you're in tune with, Zodiac Constitution and in tune with Divine Constitution and bylaws, because you're supposed to have Noble Drew Ali as a background, right? You know what I'm saying? In tune with some type of level of astrology and all that. You have to be in tune with some type of level of metaphysics. You have to be in tune with some type of level of Gnosticism and Buddhism, Islam, right? Judaism. Like you gotta be dibbling, dabbling in everything in order for the universe to pick up on your frequency and lead you to the oasis. Right? How to file proper paperwork in regard to putting our mission into effect. Our mission is uplifting fallen humanity. That's our mission. Once there's Negroes, we got work to do as Moors. Once there's blacks, we got work to do. Once there's African Americans, we got work to do. Once there's people classifying themselves as something other than Moors and claiming that that's their identity, we got work to do. Because all those people are fallen if they think like that. And again, you know what I mean? We're only going to do so much, which is why you're supposed to have your body politic. So at least you have your body of Moors that you can gravitate with, because, if you got Moors out of state, if you got Moors out of the country, you're going to have a hard time connecting with those people. Because distance is a mother when it comes to connecting with some Moors. Right? So, where you're at, the mission is uplifting fallen humanity. Right? In bringing people into uplifting fallen humanity, you're going to put them on to what you got put onto with regard to doing the proper paperwork, getting ready to write a writ for court, ready to write a writ for a student loan, whatever. You know what I mean? You would have been around Moors, studying, doing whatever it is that your body politic's supposed to do, so that everybody could be on the same mind frame, so that when everybody exercises, it works every time, because everybody's on the same mind frame. And there's no imbalance. Right? It's time that we stop allowing the powers that be to continue to oppress the masses as well as us. When our people stop claiming to be things that they're not, the oppression will cease. The only reason that they're getting abused is because our people think they don't need a nationality. They think nationality is not the order of the day. Looking good is, or whatever it is that they think it is. Right? For people in Canaanland, if you're coming into this information and you're interested in getting your nationality card, if you're in Canaanland, RVB is going to challenge you on, are you a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America in Canaanland before you get your nationality card? Because there's dirty Moors out here charging $5,000, going behind our back to try to connect with them so they can get cards done, because they think people are stupid like them. Right? We want people to understand that the prerequisite of acquiring your nationality card, the prerequisite for people in Canaanland is make sure you're a member of the temple. Because if you're a member of the temple, that means that you're down with the program. You're not a dirty Moor from out here. Dirty Moors from out here aren't part of the temple, but they say that they're Moors, and you know, they might pull out a card and stuff like that. But if they're not part of the temple, more than likely they're connected with Moors who you don't want to be connected with. Because again, when Seton Bey came out here for Caravana and said, forget that, I can't be a Moor and come out here and not go visit the temple or call the Grand Sheikh out here. Can't do it. Right? Like, that's how it's looked at. For people who are here, that think that, you know, it's here, so we don't have to do nothing, or we don't have to support, or we don't have to whatever. Well, there's people outside of here who they send their 100 every month. No questions asked. Like 0 questions asked. Right? So know what you got. And again, this is your Moorish movement. It's not our stuff. Islam to the POW, the Mothers Group, Canaanland, that's doing what they gotta do. Islam to the Moorish Culture Club, doing what they gotta do with regard to making sure that the Moors are taken care of best way that they can. Oh yeah, and can't forget 5 Principles Catering, because they always got the food up whenever something's going on for the Moors. It's just how it goes, because body politic. Body politic is going to exercise how it's going to exercise in order to administer to the people who are in the jurisdiction where the exercising is taking place. And Moors do that just because that's what's going to be done. So, you know, when we get into, you know, wanting national identity cards and, you know what I mean, with what's going on out there, you want to make sure that before you even go that route, that you're at least connected to what Noble Jew Ali brought. Whether it's being a member of the temple, whether it's having his literature and studying it religiously and giving him honors for real, like not some fronting. Like, yeah, I got all the more Noble Jew Ali literature, and you know what I mean? You're studying everything else except his stuff. Right? It's and again, we did it because of the whole sellout out here, because that's the only way we can tell, you know what I mean, who's really real, you know. That's the only way that we can tell who's really real. We can't really tell, right? Because they had people just, you know, sending them stuff, you know what I mean? And then, you know, they're getting issues with people, you know what I mean? Like people, why is stuff taking long, and, you know, having their little, you know, whining BS, you know what I mean? Because they gotta wait for something. And we said, okay, membership is prerequisite for our people out here. Because majority of the people who are complaining and had issues and whatever like that, they're not even around no more anyways, right? Which proves that they weren't even in it for the body politic. They were in it for the island. so they can have a nationality card and go around and get library cards and run them up and stuff like that, right? BS, right? So it's not we're trying to own your birthrights or whatever like that. We're protecting you from the $5,000 dirty Moors out here who aren't members of our stuff. So again, once there's people out there saying, oh yeah, they're Moors and they're Moorish Americans and they're in Canaanland, but they're not making reference to Moor Science Temple of America, Temple number 5, they're not really your brothers. Don't fall for it. Trust, don't fall for it. Few more people. Few more people. You know, the patriarchal lock. The patriarchal lock on the minds is so heavy. The bringing up again proof that women can have children without a man. Now, you know, I put this on the record. We know in 2017 that's not possible in 2017. We know that, right? Like, you know, give us a break here. You know, we're not. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it is interesting, very interesting to note that there is a culture of Amazon women where there's no males. They just made a movie about it. In 2017, they made a movie about it. Even though it can't be done right now, in 2017 by a woman, they made a movie about the Amazon women. If they made a movie about the Amazon women, and we know through, you know, the past years of looking at movies and decoding movies, and we know that in some movies they're going to tell some truths or whatever like that, then why don't you guys go debate or go question the people who made the movie about the Amazon women, why they made a movie about women who don't need a man to have children. Right? Just go debate them on that. Instead of coming at Moors. Right? You know, it's just like with these Israelites. You know, Moors never said that we're not Israelites. Like, Israel, Moorish, Canaanite, you know, like Isra, Sarah, you know, like what do you mean? We don't have the problem. Like it's not the Moors. The Moors aren't the problem. Trust me, the Moors aren't the problem. Everybody else is the problem. Because everybody else is clinging to names that allude to slavery, which lets us know that they have mental slavery still, which lets us know that we can't even have a conversation with these people, much less build some nation with them, or a government, or an organization, or a school, or whatever, because it's going to fail. You're stateless. You're going to get the message. We brought the Jordanian Palestinian to come tell you that yes, it is known. North America is Morocco. It is known. You don't want to be Moors. But you're from here. You're from Morocco, but you don't want to be Moors. How are you from Morocco, but you don't want to be Moors? Like these dummies talking about prove that women can have children without a man. Like, what's the proof? Let's go to the Amazon women. One, where's the men at? And two, all these women weren't adults. Period. I don't care if you do how much amounts of research and you can't find any hard documented proof of as to how this was done, the process, the procedure of how it was done. There's a nation of women called the Amazon tribe that only women were there in that. No men, only women. No record of men being in that. Go debate them. See what they say. See if they're game for debating your BS. Masad Rashi. Aztec Sunny Sun. Aztec Sunny Sun. Noble Drew Ali was blacker than hell. Yeah, he might have been real dark. But that wasn't his nationality. As black as hell as he was, he never called himself black. As black as a Congolese is, they don't call themselves black. As black as a Sri Lankan is, they don't call themselves black. So the only dumbasses are Negro black colored people, especially ones that claim that they're conscious. Because they're blacker than anybody. The dumbasses that they are. The stateless, incompetent idiots that they are. That you're so conscious, but you're calling yourself a shade under the guise of a color. But you're conscious. You know yourself. These Israelites know their self. All these Nation of Islam know their self. But, you know, Captain X said, forget that, I'm Joseph Bey. Hey, nobody didn't get, you just missed it. He even put the Bey on there. He didn't even cheat and say Ali. Make it look like, you know, anybody Muslim could be called that. He said Bey. Yusuf Bey. Now all you NY, you don't get it. Oh, you still missed it, huh? Okay. Alright. That's cool, you know what I mean? Honors to Elijah Muhammad, you know, Black Asiatic and all that stuff. Do your thing. You know. Dr. York L. put the L on it. Called them Nuwapian Nation of Moors. That stuff out there. That was his demonstration on the land. Talking about Moorish sovereignty. Crazy classes on nationality and all that. But they don't want to be Moors. There'll be Nuwapians, but they're not going to be Moors. Even though they have a seal that says Nuwapian Nation of Moors. They have a seal, their own seal. Nuwapian Nation of Moors seal. But they're not Moors. They're not L's and Bays. But their leader's L, but, you know, they're all this other stuff. Because they came out, told him he's black power guy. He's blacker than he's black as hell. He said he ain't Kunta Kente though, which means he's not black. He's a Moor. Got sense enough to know that he's a Moor. I wouldn't argue with the fact that he's a Moor. I wouldn't come in your house and tell you that I'm a Moor if I didn't know that I was a Moor and all that. Oh, and Black Panther guys, new Black Panther, fists in the air, whoever's, oh, you guys still playing. You're not Moors. You want nothing to do with that. But the Black Power General guy, who you guys rep hard, he said he's Moor. You got sense enough to know that he's a Moor, but you're not going to say that you're Moors. but you honor him. I don't think that's honor at all. Sounds like a lot of you people out here are Judas, to be honest. And you're Judas because you've been following after the people after the guy who you like got killed. Following the guy after, instead of going back to the teachings of the guy that they killed. Right? Are you Garveyites? You don't forget about y'all. You know, Carlos Cooks, who you don't acknowledge. You don't even bring him up. He had fezzes up on the African Legion of the UNIA. Why is the UNIA wearing fezzes? And Garveyites today are black fists in the air. Like, what are you talking about? You guys wore fezzes. Your foundational guys wore fezzes. And we can go through the list. Yahweh Ben Yahweh, talking all this stuff about you're not colored and you're not Negro and all that stuff. Where does all this stuff come from? Where's all this stuff coming from? Noble Drew Ali. Everybody studied from this man. Everybody took peace. Some of them, like CMB, stuck to the program. This is about constitutional mindedness, civic mindedness, metaphysical mindedness. This is not about passive mind and stagnant mind and don't know anything and have to ask 500 billion questions 500 billion times. Same questions. This is man being what he knows, and man's only going to be what he knows if he decides to study. Man has to decide to study. If man doesn't say he's going to study, then it is what it is. Where'd that other book go? There's another reference. Some quick references from this one. Blackamoors, Africans in Tudor England. Their presence, status, and origin. Right? How stories of noble Africans affected otherness. Stories that contain positive ideas about blackness, not just as a metaphor, but related to the skin complexion of Africans, are found in biblical, ancient Greek, Roman, and medieval texts. Stories that contain positive ideas about blackness, not just as a metaphor, but related to skin complexion, so blackness as a skin complexion, are found in biblical, ancient Greek, Roman, and medieval texts. Now, as soon as they're talking about Greeks and Romans, you already know that that ain't us calling ourselves black. Right? So anybody, just so all you people know, when you say black people and people are black, you're actually talking as if you're a European. You're actually talking as a European would. Moor means black. It's a European mindset, which Moors call mental slavery, which you have now. The same positive notions are present in the ancient idea believed in the 15th and 16th century Europe that one of the three kings who visited the infant Jesus was a youthful African magi called Balthazar, who throughout his youth represents a new kind of Christianity. This idea is strongly represented in depictions of the adoration of the Magi and can be seen in images, in churches and paintings across Europe in Tudor England. Now remember that they always make reference to ourself. They always make reference to us in the European writings. They always make reference to us as Moor or African. And African and Moor are synonymous. African and Moor in European literature are synonymous terms. So when they say African kings, they're talking about Moorish. When they say African magi, they're talking about Moorish. But Moorish is the code word. Moorish is the code word. If you're prominent and you start using the code word, trust they're gonna shut you down, shut you up, some way, somehow, just because. Just because. Right? It is not in the best interest of the colonial powers for the people to know about their ancestry, their Moorish ancestry. It is not in the best interest for the people to accept the nicknames. Don't accept the nicknames. The true name is Moor. Don't fall for it doesn't matter what you call yourself, because we're all dark, or we're all, the correct term is Moors. In Tudor England, there are many terms used to describe Africans. The most common is black, used with Moor as two words. One more needs to be said. There are many terms used to describe Africans in Tudor England. The most common, remember if we're talking about European, we're talking about England, then we're talking about these people who are around today, who are foreigners in your land, in our land. This is their background. This is what they know. This is what they're aware of as people who come from that side. And then this is for Moors who are on that side to know that they know for real, that the most common name you were called was black with Moor, used as two words or as one to create blackamoor. But other words include Moor by itself, Negro, Niger, Negir, Negra, and Ethiopian. Most of these words appear to originate from an interpretation of classical works mixed with observational descriptions of African peoples' complexions. Some modern definitions of the words blackamoor, Moor, Negro, and Ethiopian include confusing and in some cases misleading connotations. Just go look it up and check for yourself. This is the same stuff that Moors are talking about. That yes, there's all these names that we can call ourselves. Yeah, we already know that. We're not blinded of the names that we used to call ourselves. But the most common name to identify the people with all these hundreds of names is Moor. Or you put black on it and say Blackamoor. The most prominent name, the name widely used, is Blackamoor. You don't want to be that? You want to be everything but what you're not? Like, how are they saying that the words Blackamoor and Moor definitions include confusing and misleading connotations? This next line is good. One of these is the qualification that Moors or Blackamoors must be Muslims. When Tudor documents such as the 1601 proclamation use the word Moor to refer to all Africans irrespective of religion. You're still not Moors, huh? You're everything but Moors. Let's read that again, just so. Let me sip this tea. One of these qualifications, that Moors or Blackamoors must be Muslims. When Tudor documents such as the 1601 proclamation use the word Moor to refer to all Africans irrespective of religion. All Africans, irrespective of religion, were known as Moors. All Africans. So that means east ones, west ones, north ones, south ones, central ones. South central ones, north central ones, right? Southeast ones, northeast ones, all Africans. All, A-L-L. The same principle applies to the modern qualifications that Moors must be from North Africa or that they are Arabs. The word Arab was not used to describe Moors in Tudor England, but the words Blackamoor, black, Negro, and Ethiopian were. Nevertheless, some of the terms associated with Africans in Tudor England are linked to geographical areas, and these includes the words Barbary and Morisco. These words could be used to explain where a particular African living in Tudor England was from. However, Gustav Ungerer, UN, or Gustav, G-U-S-T-A-V, U-N-G-E-R-E-R, suggests that terms such as Barbary and Blackamoor are deliberately being used in Tudor documents to obscure the origins of Africans' presence in England. He claims that an accurate record of an African's existence or origins may have highlighted the illegal activities of English merchants who brought them to the country. Habib and Paul Griffiths proposed something similar. Unger's theory may explain why some Africans were occasionally described without name, sex, or place of birth, such as in the record for an African on 15th of December 1567 at St. Olave's, Coleman Street, London. Here the individual is not named but simply noted as Niger, nigger, one. And this word marks that African's presence, but nothing else. Right? Now remember, letters by the Queen and all that stuff, that you're not going to call these people blackamoors and all this, is right along with them having these records with, you could tell that it's Asiatics because they put nigger there, but they never identify them as really who they are. Right? And again, it comes back to the same thing with what CMB was doing. And the fact that, why you going to them to register anything? You should be registering yourself in your own stuff. Why wouldn't you just do it in your own stuff? Like, why do you need their register in their stuff for them to put nigger? So like we're saying, there's work to do. Enough work for all to do. Right? Africans in Tudor England, their presence, status, and origin. That's what I was busting up when I was on the beach every morning, taking this in. Just so we can a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thine own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. And then right into the next chapter, Holy Instructions of Unity. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and He appointed to everyone his portion in what measure seemeth good unto himself. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah. So the gifts of understanding are the treasures of the Most High. The treasures of the Most High. And He appointed everyone his portion. So everybody has their little bit of the treasures. Everybody has their little bit of the treasures. Everybody has their etheric cord connected to the Akashic records and can download. You have your own portion that you're going to download. You have your own purpose that you're going to fulfill on the earth plane. You have your own position to play in this great human drama. Right? You have a position to play. Right? Again, going right back again to the beginning. That if you don't know yourself, you will be playing positions that you have no involvement. You'll just be a block of wood pointing in a direction when you're actually supposed to be moving with this. As people evolve, you're supposed to evolve. Like, you're not supposed to be, and then people are evolving and you're not evolving. It's like when the younger child was smarter. In the islands, the parents will be talking about, don't make him pass you, you know. Don't make him pass you, you know. Right? The people that you're putting on are supposed to elevate you as well. And that's how you know that you got Moors around you. For real, for real. Because you'll put them on and then 2 days later they'll call you and they'll put you on to something like, oh, alright, I need to go find something to put them on. And the little competition turns into iron sharpening iron. It turns into that automatically. Why? Because as Moors, we're always third eye wrestling. Always. There's always another Moor that's your right hand man that you and him are there. Anything goes down, you and him, you're there. Always. You know what I mean? You always have that, you know, and it's never Robin or, you know, cringe tiger, some second hand guy coming up, no, like, yo, there. Right? And again, going back to body politic, those individuals who are there with you, like you feel the energy of the people who are with you in your jurisdiction. These are the people who are going to be the ones to administer everything and make everything happen. Because they're serious about the nationality and birthright. They're serious about it. Right? Because people are going to half-ass you. If you're talking about, well, yeah, you know, I was watching the Taj and he said, well, you know, if I'm the only one, I should be the one and I'm going to, you know. And then you think that you're going to go set something up and then 500 people are going to come and then 500 people later are going to be like, yeah, we're down for this and all that. That ain't happening. 2 people are going to come out, those 500 people. Now, maybe a little more. Maybe you'll get about 10 that are really on this. Like, they've been looking for this all their life. You know what I mean? They've been studying for so long. They already got dictionaries. They already got a library. You know what I mean? They already got a Moroccan room. They already got a shrine. They already got certain things that, you know what I mean? Now that they connected with a Moor, oh, it's going to be over for them. It's like one of these Moors the other day, you know, just coming into the info, you know, same thing. He's in his jurisdiction, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to really bear witness for it myself. But, so brother, we were talking about something. And Brother Taj Tariq Bey came up. So we're talking, we're building, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hold on a second, go over, you know what I mean? Call Taj, and I bring Taj in on the call. And this dude lost it on the call. Like, he was at loss for words and like a couple times the spirit jumped in him and he was just going like, You know what I mean? Like just killing that drum. You were just in the zone. And it made me realize that Moors who are out here, sincere and all that, trust you're doing good work. Moors who are taking their time to assist people with knowing about their nationality and birthrights and not robbing them, not playing them, really giving them what it is that they need so they can figure this stuff out, you deserve some honors, because you know what I mean? You don't talk much and stuff like that. You stay in the cut and you do your thing. But, you know, that made me realize the impact that, you know, we have on people. Like I wasn't even looking at it on a level of, you know, how is he going to look at me that I did that? I just thought it would be a good joke just to see his reaction when he says Islam, and it's actually Taj, who he's been watching on videos for the past 6 months or whatever like that. You know what I mean? But you know how it is with, you know, once you put in a Taj video, you know? But, you know, the brother was like appreciative on some different levels. Like he was like, just, oh my gosh, I can't believe like I just talked to him. Like I can't believe I talked to him. You know what I mean? You know. So all you Moors out there who are taking the lessons in, you know what I mean, studying and spreading this word to the ones who we know need it and want it, and you know what I mean, are coming on board. You know what I mean? It's not even like they're taking it and running away with it. Like they're taking the info and then they're calling you every weekend. They're keeping in touch and they're coming over and studying and all that. Islam to you, Moors, for giving these people yet another outlet for them to be able to get back in tune with their ancient foremothers and forefathers, divine and national creed and principles. Because, like we say, the work is extensive, but there's enough of us that we can get the job done. You know what I mean? There's enough of us that we can get the job done. So we just wanted to give y'all some honors. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for the work that you're doing. Try to help our people out. All right? And stay strong. You know what I mean? Stay on it. Stay on it. There's no need to get off it because it's time right now. You know what I mean? Right? If you've seen the Vlad TV with Noble from the Outlaws, and Tupac wanted to name him Noble Drew Ali as the 7th member of the Outlaws. Tupac wanted to name him Noble Drew Ali. Just go watch so you can hear it yourself if you never heard it. Vlad TV and Outlaws talking about being the last outlaw or something like that is the name of it, right? And then everybody knows we got the Tupac picture, right? So he was on the science, and then again, you know what I mean, with Prodigy and all this stuff coming out about him and all these letters and stuff like that, that, you know, nobody pay attention to until you die. And then he dies and now, you know, somebody killed him or whatever. When he even had a song saying, hey, you know, people just die and shit. Like, you're not, everything's not a conspiracy. Like, just chill. Everything's not, sometimes people die. Guy might just get shot, like, you know. So, know that word's out, been out. Are you in tune? Or are you out of tune? If you're out of tune, get in tune ASAP. I mean, burn some sage. You know what I'm saying? As a start. All those demonic entities in your house right now, making your couch look low. You're like, damn, the couch is always low and stuff like that. Only me sitting in this couch and this kid, because you got demons in your house. So get those boys out the way and you'll be straight. Islam to all the active Moors. Don't forget, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Blog Talk Radio tonight. Call-in number 425-569-5201. 425-569-5201 or 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899. Call in before, way before 9:30, up to 15 minutes before the show. So you can get in if you have questions, especially you trolls out there. You know, don't be punks. Call into the show. You know what I mean? Show's been going on for years that you can call in. You guys are going to comment on videos and all that stuff, but you're never going to call into the show. Right? Why are you scared to call into the show? Because you know we have the mothers on there that would tear you a new one. Come on there talking BS. So we dare you to call in. $300 for you guys to call in. That's the new one now. 300. 300 for everything. Dare you. Call into the show. I bet you hang up. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe. Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. And we'll just close out with Wisdom of the Womb. Don't forget willofalah.com. You can pick that up. But Wisdom of the Womb, Faye and Asim, military time.
Don't ask me if it's a just war. That's not up to us. To us, it's just war.
Military mind in the military time. Military mind in the military time. Military mind in the military time. Crossing enemy lines, war morals and tango. Once they show me the ropes, I show you warrior strangle. Separate bodies, 6-degree angles. High caliber grip when he rambles. From his tip, bionic lip equipped with the handles. Could have careers crippled in shambles. It's Bando. Michael Jordan fans know nobody fucking with my ammo. Nightmare to the son of Samuel. Spit with the camels, my energy's camel. Anger I channel, use it like a radical Tamil. Got tried as a terrorist, then my hammer spat at your panel. Weapons are formed, had to dismantle. Handle it manual, left it to God. I'm on the path to a manual. Such a thriller, feel of a life giver. I catch a body, I deliver. You catch a body, you a killer. So I'm not your typical nigga. Every time I rhyme, I pull a trigger. Military mind in the military time. Military mind in the military time. Military mind in the military time. Not like the newsie, I'm a broken toolie in a ghetto movie. Might explode if you let them use me. Usually cool, I.e. to identify me. You should probably be thinking highly. Trying to find wisdom where I be. While I be dodging, listening, missing the missiles whistle by me. Wonder what they pay to try to buy me. Kingfisher play to ban me. Got me thinking all I need is my family. Sometimes I think all I need is a Grammy to cure the Alzheimer's, to cure my granny. And anyone who understand me, even the ones that try to ban me. We all kids if the world is candy. Watch what you hand me, I won't let you hang me. I'm never going back to that place again. On a new path, not a pace of sin. You should play it back, you should take it in. I tied up one of my homies' legs, one of my homies' arms. Hope to die before losing my one and my only mom. Terror in my eyes, you worried about Saddam. I watch the temperature rise between niggas who get it on. When you hear the song, the message has no discretion. Pull up in the tank so the people know my aggression. Stole Hannibal's weapon. Try to test him when class is in session. He'll dissect the lesson. Leave your body parts in the West End. Military mind in the military time. Military mind in the military time.
learn as we live, like the experience, wisdom to give attention to that self that's in. Time has been the main form of this verse. It's measurement, it's evident based on life's compliment that we were purposing. Still we're meant to do more. Whispers the voice at the core, which turns into a roar whenever we rhyme on the floor. Memories before now have me reflecting how prophesizing on monopolizing like they do the cow. Correction, since they refer to deal with deception in all direction, it's for self-inspection into perfection. No perplexing, just speaking, respecting those that's teaching. Reflections that are reaching to that point where they preaching. The concept of borderlines, intertwining outer angel, either inner demon, spy my cons. Always ready to build, feeling the battle drills, knowing that we will do what's necessary to heal the ill to the mind of a soldier. Growing in the north colder, so consequently as we've gotten older, gotten bolder. Rhyme solo when they hear trigger that pioneer spirit. Hear it, inform it, and spit it out. A conduit, no doubt. We about profitable gain. Coochie chigga leak a change. Similar, you're not the same as those who just seek to campaign. Emphasizing time to strain, focusing on loss and pain. Tearing like the rain, we switch up, add on as we maintain.